Now, my father-in-law's father, being an officer in the SS, yes, he was a party member, but he worked as a clerk in a rather high office in the Nazi Party there in the city of Stuttgart. And when he discovered that the Nazis were planning on beginning basically an extermination campaign against the Jews, he resigned his commission and he left the party. Which, when you look at the trials at Nuremberg and the excuse that, well, I couldn't do this because I was under orders, well, that's not necessarily true. As a member of the SS, you're a volunteer, and if you don't like what the party is doing, it's incumbent upon you to resign. So the counter argument is, well, you had the opportunity to resign and leave the party. Why didn't you do it? So after the war, because of his party affiliation and because of the treaty and the rules that the Allies had imposed on Germany, that rather learned man who had found himself as a low operator in a kind of high place, the best work he could find was as a tailor, and that's how he died. I know that socially and economically, at least while the Nazi Party was in power, it was very, very hard on him. And even after the war, because of his affiliation with the party, it made it hard for him to make a living. At the same time, and the man was long dead before I ever had an opportunity to meet his son, my future father-in-law. But as I look at that set of circumstances in hindsight, and now having been educated a couple of times with regard to military ethics and the law of armed conflict, I think that he took the hard right over the easy wrong. And I think that he knew what he was doing with his life when he decided to resign both his commission and his affiliation with the Nazi Party. He knew it was going to be rough on him, but mass murder on the scale that the party was proposing, he couldn't live with it and he wouldn't take part in it. And I think that's a point that my family, my wife's family, can be very proud of. Somebody was willing to stand up and say no.